discussing here chapter number 6, Chemical and Physical Changes of Standard 7 subject Science. In the previous lecture, we studied about various physical change. That is a change in which there is a change in physical properties only. That is either a color or a state or size or shape. Right? So, cutting of salad, melting of ice cream, melting of chocolate, freezing of water, these all are some physical changes. Then we have talked about chemical changes. The changes in which one or more new substances are formed, then it is known as a chemical change. For example, rusting of iron, cooking of food, digestion of food, photosynthesis, these all are some chemical changes. If you remember, then we have discussed about some experiments by which we can say that it is a chemical change. Right? We have studied about the magnesium ribbon. We burnt that magnesium ribbon and we get the ash in the form of magnesium oxide, a new substance. Then we have the copper sulfate solution, and then we kept one iron nail into it, and copper sulfate solution changes to iron sulfate solution. So that is also a new substance. And we have done the reaction between the vinegar and baking soda and we get carbon dioxide. So CO2 is produced in the form of gas. When this CO2 is passed into lime water, then this lime water changes to calcium carbonate, means the color changes from transparent to milky white color, right? So this is what we studied in the previous lecture. As I told you that today we are going to study about various changes which take place along with the chemical change. Okay, whenever any chemical changes occur, right, then at that time some other changes also takes place. So that we have to study. But before that, let us revise the definition of chemical change. A change in which one or more new substances are formed is known as a chemical change. So other changes which accompany a chemical change is heat or light production. If you remember, I told you that when magnesium ribbon burns, okay, then it will burn with a dazzling white bright colored light, right? So here light is produced, right? So along with the formation of new substance, that is MgO, magnesium oxide, the light is produced. Then sound production. Okay, whenever we burn the magnesium ribbon, it forms the dazzling sound. Shh. Like that sound is produced in this chemical change. Then the next is gas formation. Okay, so when we do the reaction between vinegar and baking soda, carbon dioxide is formed. So what is this carbon dioxide? Of course, a gas. So gas is produced, right? Then sometime there is a change in smell as well as there is a change in color. As we have seen in copper sulfate and iron sulfate solution, the solution of copper sulfate is blue in color while the solution of iron sulfate is green in color. So all these things can happen when a chemical change can take place. That is heat or light production or absorption, then sound production, gas formation, change in smell, change in color. Right? So these are some changes which takes place along with a chemical change. Now, our next topic is rusting of iron. We know that the iron articles or iron objects, when kept in the atmosphere, means when we kept them out in the atmosphere, they come in contact with oxygen and water, especially in monsoon, then they get rusted, right? So if we are keeping our iron articles, say for example any agricultural instrument, okay, if left in the open, in the garden or farm, then they get rusted. Why? Because when they come in contact with the oxygen which is there in the atmosphere and water, especially as I said that in monsoon the rain is coming, so when both of this come in contact with iron object, then on this iron object there will be a formation of brown colored layer which is known as rust. So this process is known as rusting. So here we can say that rusting is a type of chemical change, because the different objects or different substance react with each other and there will be a formation of new substance, that is rust. So mind well that rust is different from iron, right? So let's see the equation of it. Iron, that is Fe, plus it will react with, as I told you, oxygen from the atmosphere plus water, okay, that is H2O, right? Then it will form the rust, okay. The formula of rust is Fe2O3. So whenever the iron reacts with oxygen from the atmosphere and water, then it will form the rust, and rust is a new substance. It is brown color layer deposited on iron. Remember that for rusting, the presence of both of this, water and oxygen, is must. If any one of them is absent, either water or oxygen, then rusting cannot occur. So if we want to prevent our iron articles from rusting, then we should keep it inside our house, or we should keep it in the place where there is no oxygen or no water. So again we have a question that, ma'am, oxygen is everywhere, so how can we keep our iron articles without come in contact with oxygen? And of course, if we are living in the place where humidity is good, then moisture is present in the air, so iron articles may get rusted, so we get very much loss. Then what can we do to prevent rusting of iron? For that we have two options. Either we can paint or grease the iron objects. Means we can make a layer of oil or grease on the iron objects to prevent them from rusting. The another method to prevent iron articles from rusting is to deposit a layer of zinc on iron. So here we have to deposit a layer of zinc on iron, and this process is known as galvanization. What is galvanization? Galvanization is the process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron, right? What it will do? It will not allow the iron to come in contact with oxygen and water, so rusting will not happen, right? So we can prevent our iron articles by using this process known as galvanization. Now the next topic, and we can say the last topic of our chapter, is crystallization. Now, before we start this topic, I want to ask you a question that what do you mean by crystals? So, crystals are nothing but the structure of some substance. Okay, and generally we can find the crystals of pure substance only. But in the nature we cannot get crystals of any substance because they must mix with some impurities. So, how can we get the crystals of any substance? As I told you, if the substance are pure, then and then we can get the crystals. You might have seen the crystals of common salt, sugar, right? So, if we want to get the crystals of any substance, then we have to make the solution of it. Then that solution we have to heat it, and then as they cool down, we get the crystal of any particular object, right? So, the process of formation of crystals from its solution is known as crystallization. So, crystallization is a process in which crystals are formed from the solution of it. If you remember, we studied about the chemical change in which we are making the copper sulfate solution. So, here also we can make the copper sulfate crystals by this method. What we have to do? We have to take pinch of copper sulfate and mix in water. Then we have to add 3 to 4 drops of sulfuric acid. Okay, and then we have to heat this solution. After cooling, we get crystals of copper sulfate, that is of blue color, and of course they are pure, right? So, here we can say that this process is known as crystallization. And mind well, this is a physical process. Why physical process? Because here no new substance is formed, right? So, here we are ending with our chapter, that is chapter number 6. Hope you understand this chapter well. Okay, in the next lecture we will discuss new chapter, that is chapter number 9, soil. Till that, be at home, be safe. Thank you.
आभार।